Hello everybody, welcome to another rapid speedrun game against Marius, rated 1356. Let's get a Sicilian on the board and see what transpires. Any number of things can happen in chess, such as bishop e5 on move 2, which I have no idea what this is. So I'm out of theory, so I'm going to play based on my understanding. a6, free improving move, allowing us to play b5, free improving move, allowing us to play bishop b7, developing move for free. In this scenario, I'm not going to because he traps his bishop on move 4. He's almost 1400. He traps his bishop on move 4. You can also be 1400. I don't mean you can also trap your bishop. I mean if these guys are doing stuff like this and they're this rating, you can definitely achieve this rating. I wonder if I should start a series where I post lessons, like give somebody a 1 hour lesson and then post that video for everyone else to benefit from. And they can kind of see, I don't know, a different version of how to think when I'm telling another player, when I'm watching them play a game. It's interesting. So anyway, let's develop a piece and hit the center. We're also x-raying g2. The game is over and we're up a piece. If he resigned, that would be great. But he just develops. So I'm going to double fianchetto. Just take both long diagonals with both my bishops. I'm up a piece. I have the luxury of doing things however I want. So he pushes, making our dark square bishop nice and strong. Let's play d6. Let's get our knight in the game now that we have some really nice dark squares to work with. And this Sicilian is starting to resemble a little bit of the Pirts, which I like, because I like that opening. I find it pretty fun. I don't know why I kind of like it, but I do. So he castles. We could develop our knights. Let's start with the queen knight just to give a little more support. So when we develop our other knight, he's not thinking about pushing it. Huh. So he develops his bishop. He looks at this dark square diagonal. Makes some sense. Trades are wins for us. I should keep that in mind. But right now I'm just going to develop my second knight towards the center, see what he does. We have the potential harassment move of knight g4, which you should always keep in mind because it is a reroute to the center. So now he moves his knight first. Doesn't really threaten anything. You could probably just kick it. So I'm going to kick it. And then he's going to move it. He might go to h3 because I think he wants to play f4, which is why he moved his knight to begin with. So he might not want to go back to block his f-pawn. So he might convince himself to go to h3, which we don't mind seeing as well. I don't know what he's thinking about. It's not like he has many options here, right? His knight's hanging, so just go back. Or forward. That's another piece. Okay, so for each piece that we've taken, we've given him one pawn in return. So 2 minor pieces for 2 pawns, which is terrible for him. We just have so many minor pieces. So he should definitely resign. How can we make him resign? Let's just trade. What's the fastest way to do that? I guess we just hop in here. It's going to threaten his pawn. Maybe he'll be like, oh, I'll trade. What else is there? You can't go here because the queen covers that square. So you would have to play h5 to support it. Seems kind of slow. I mean, you're winning no matter what you do. You move your king back and forth, you're still winning. But hopefully you can come up with a better move than that. I kind of like my king here because now it gives my rook access. And I don't feel unsafe here. Mostly because he has no pieces. Earth. He's from planet Earth. Okay, why is he stalling though? You just sacked your knight, so now make a move. There's no way to even attempt to queen trade, so okay, good. Yeah, way to just sit there for a couple minutes and then hit resign. Something wrong with these people. So let's just check at the engine. Okay. Perfect game. Let's just go to the next one. Against Extraordinaire. Rated over 1400. Now we can try to get a Sicilian. As he develops his bishop and takes us out of theory, we just play based on understanding. Now it's time for responsive chess. Depending on what he does, it will determine what we do. Is queen g5 a move this early? g3. I'm just asking for fanciness, right? Let's develop a piece like a human being. Okay, it's important to know that when they push the pawn, we often have the counter, well, not just the resource, d5. If he takes, okay, he takes en passant. Now we just get to develop, and our position looks great. I'd rather be black. It's already move 5, and I'd rather be black. We weren't afraid of e5 because we knew we had d5 in our pocket. And if he takes your knight, you take his bishop. And if he takes your pawn, you fianchetto, and you have a very active position. So already he's thinking knight out or pawn push. Makes sense. If he does something else, he's just being fancy. Maybe he can hit the bishop. I guess that's another option, but after I move my bishop, he's going to have to go for, one of the other moves. But he's thinking so long, it's only move 5. And it's not a critical position. I mean, you have to develop your knight and castle, right? So if you're in a game, don't waste time like this. Just develop your knight and prepare to castle. Put your pawn up 1 or 2 and use your time when you need to. I mean, I shouldn't be talking because I waste time all the time, but I'm telling you not to do it. So he does develop his knight after 10 minutes, and now we just castle. And now he could instantly castle, but instead he goes a3. What? Making room for his bishop when I can't even attack it. Kind of weird. But it's our turn. Let's bring out a new piece. Towards the center. one day he should castle. And then we have the idea a6, b5, hitting the bishop, creating this nice pawn chain, and bishop b7, creating space for a fianchetto, which is quite a nice position. But he's thinking. Thinking's good, but I mean, you have such an obvious move. Why wouldn't you make it? Like, why would you insert a3, right? And even now, okay, d3, at least this develops a bishop, so I can approve of it. a3, not so much. I'm going to play a6, but unlike his a3, mine comes with an actual idea. So now he insta-develops towards the center, but the pawn's defended. So I'm going to continue with my plan of expanding and fianchettoing, getting a very powerful bishop. And I really like black's position. So now he castles. Fine. We could mess with his bishop, but I mean, you don't have to. Let's just keep developing. So let's go queen c7. We now have a nice battery towards the king, where we could put a rook against his queen. We've connected our rooks before white. Now he connects his rooks. So it would be nice to open up our other bishop this knight. Let's try to move it, right? We could go in the center, but that he trades and fine, it's fine for us, but maybe we can create more problems if we jump here, because if he takes with the knight, which is what you would want to take with, we take back. He takes with the bishop. What do we do there? We take this, he goes over. We hit his queen, he goes back. I mean, you could do that. So here, 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 here. Hit the queen. If he goes back, I go back. And his king's just a little open. I don't know. I'm going to throw it in the center to open his bishop anyway. It creates, more potential for more stuff. And I'm going to put it on one of these squares. I feel like knight d4 is more active and trickier. Maybe he'll even give up the bishop instead of the knight. So, okay, he takes with the knight. I'm going to take this first before I throw in the check. Seems like just safer. Although I think they're interchangeable. I mean, he has to take back because this is a fork. So he doesn't really have a choice here. He does. So now we ruin the cover of his king. We come back with the bishop. We have some mate ideas. Okay, can we sack our other bishop? Check. If he takes, can we do anything there? If we lift our queen up, he always has f3. If we take, he'll take with something. And the checkmate doesn't work. Here, here, here. Okay, we'll just keep it. Keep the status quo. Now his king is a little more exposed. So we can maybe get to it. His light square bishop's not really going to help against ours. So I like what I see. The material's even, but my king is safer. So this is a fun game, and having these two bishops lasered at his king is a lot of fun. This is coming, attacking his bishop, threatening, I don't know, some type of bishop clearance, threatening mate. So let's see what he does. It should be interesting. I'm curious to see. Okay, so he jumps his knight here, which threatens our dark square bishop. If we take, he has to take. That opens up the d file for our rook against his queen. He's also hanging up material there, which can't be good. He's trying to defuse, but losing material is losing material. I cannot vouch for it. Okay, he closes off the diagonal, but hangs more material. But our bishop's a little loose, but his dark squares are terrible. I mean, we could just move our bishop anywhere. We take our loot and run. I guess you could go on this diagonal, but I still want to go on the fianchetto diagonal. Just keep this all pressured so he can never really move the pawns easily. We're now up a pawn. We have a win condition. He gets his queen out of the way, but now I'm going to jam this in here, open up the d file, dislodge his queen, maybe create some mating patterns. I mean, he's not exactly mated, but if I can get a queen there, it would be. So at least we force his queen here, and we get our bishop here. He'll probably try to trade it, would be my guess, but we're the ones up material. Now we could take the d file, but he'll just contest it, and that's not really an advantage. Let's at least first. Well, you could take the c file because it comes with a threat, and then take the d file, but queen here threatens the checkmate in two. So I think we should start with the more forcing active move. It does threaten the pawn, but how does he even stop this? Go here to cover that square? That's ugly. Because here, what if I just pick a different square? I guess he could bring his queen in, but that's suspicious. There is also this pawn, so. And it's not like a rook on the b file can win a pawn back with tactics. So he blocks this and completely ignores the checkmate. That is complete wrong order of priorities. So he saves his b pawn and gets checkmated in two. So he didn't actually see my threat, which is kind of funny because I thought it was pretty obvious. So let's go through this game, and whenever they bring their bishop out, it's called Sicilian Defense Bowdler Attack. So some guy named Bowdler thought it was a good idea to do this, and then every black player from then on just kicks the bishop around. So center and development and center. And putting your knight here provokes lots of lower rated players to play e5 because it just looks like you're displacing the knight and it has nowhere good to go. But it's important as black in many positions to remember d5, counter strike when their bishop's here. He takes, forced developing move. King safety and development. Development and center. Improving our position for free. And so basically, as black here, you know you have to develop your light square bishop. So you see his bishop is here. So then you come up with the idea, oh, what about a6, b5 with tempo, and I get the long diagonal kind of fast. Alternatively, if his bishop's not here, and this doesn't come for free, maybe you'll say, okay, what about, like let's say his bishop was on e2, not bearing down this diagonal. You might be like, you know what? I don't want to go a6, b5 because his bishop's not there. What about e5, advancing in the center, not worrying about this diagonal and opening my bishop up this way? It's even faster than the fianchetto, so you might choose that one. So now you can see how I pick it. I go for b5 because it's a really nice setup if you can get it fast. And now we get it fast. Development center, we didn't do anything, we're not up anything, but we're minus 1.5, which is much better position. And it's because our pieces are nicely placed aiming at his king. Already it says he's just losing. So what's the absolute best move? Okay, so it is best to move the knight to open the bishop. But I didn't want to just give him a simple trade. I wanted to cause some problems, so I chose to go here. Because if you're going to trade, you might as well cause problems. But they're saying, okay, you're right, you shouldn't trade. So you might as well just go to e7 and then hop it over to f5. You open your bishop, you're threatening to ruin his structure, and you don't even give him the trade. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Our move is really good too. Takes, force move, free stuff, force move. Force move, you don't want to take the bishop in this scenario. Although you could. Okay, force move because we win material, so free stuff, force move. And I mean, it was losing anyway, it's -2. We're up a pawn, we have the bishop pair aiming at the king. Great activity, easy development and plans. White can't really do anything but wait to lose. He makes the natural move, it goes to -4 immediately. We improve a piece for free, and then we improve a piece for free. And they want him to just run, because once he gets his king to f1, you do have bishop back blocking the checkmate. It's still -4 losing, but at least you don't get mated. So we have all zeros, no inaccuracies, 9 center pawn, 97%. I thought he might try this, which looks terrible. But yeah, you could just pick a different square. You don't want to pick this square that I said because he'll just bring his queen in and stop you. You play the very clever queen f5. Why queen f5? Because it actually stops his queen from trying to come in and do anything. And you say, yeah, but then you can't go to the h file. Well, you can. You're actually looking at queen h3 because this pawn's pinned. So it's still checkmate. So queen f5 is the accurate square. Now you know. Submit your rapid games in my Discord. Or if you're interested in trying that coaching thing where we give a lesson and I post it on YouTube, you can let me know. Goodbye.